Just listen and repeat to improve your English listening, speaking, reading, and vocabulary all in one video. Take 1 second, click the like button to support me, and let's jump in. Level 1, starting off with an easy, basic piece of cake sentence here. You can say with me or pause and repeat. Let's go. I was running. One more time. I was running. Okay, yeah, not a lot we can say about level 1. We've got a main character and they were running for some reason. Let's level up and find out why. Level 2, some blue text has been added to our sentence, making it more challenging. I was running at full speed down the street. One more time at a medium speed. I was running at full speed down the street, okay? And now at a quick speed. I was running at full speed down the street. One more time. I was running at full speed down the street. Okay, our main character, they weren't just running, they were running at full speed, okay? We could also say as fast as they could, right? They were running as fast as they possibly could. In other words, they were running at maximum speed, or we could say at top speed. Throughout this video, you will see lots of green synonyms down here. They're different ways of saying the same thing. We still don't know why our main character is running at full speed, at top speed, at maximum speed, as fast as they can down the street. Let's level up again. Slow read, say with me. I was running at full speed down the street and waving my arms like mad. Again, at a medium speed. I was running at full speed down the street and waving my arms like mad. Okay, so our main character, they were running full speed and they were waving their arms like mad. Waving their arms like crazy in a crazy way. Waving their arms crazily, we could also say. Maybe trying to get someone's attention? Let's say this at a quick speed and then we'll level up once more. Are you ready? I was running at full speed down the street and waving my arms like mad. Level 4, slow speed. I was running at full speed down the street and waving my arms like mad, trying to get the bus driver's attention. Okay. Now, the picture of what is happening in the story is coming into focus. Yeah, things are starting to become more clear. We see why our main character is running down the street, sprinting down the street, waving their arms crazily. They are doing what? What are they doing? They're trying to get a bus driver's attention, trying to get the bus driver to look at them, to notice them, to engage with them, to pay attention to them. Let's go right to the quick speed and then we will keep leveling up. Are you ready? I was running at full speed down the street and waving my arms like mad, trying to get the bus driver's attention. Level 5, say with me or pause and repeat. I was running at full speed down the street and waving my arms like mad, trying to get the bus driver's attention before they took off and left me behind. Okay, yeah, so the bus driver is about to take off, right? About to depart, to leave, to go off, to get going, right? They're about to go away, basically. And our main character is running, waving, trying to get their attention before this happens, right? They don't want to miss the bus. Level 5, quick speed, here we go. I was running at full speed down the street and waving my arms like mad, trying to get the bus driver's attention before they took off and left me behind. Level 6. Are you feeling the burn yet? Let's go. I was running at full speed down the street and waving my arms like mad, trying to get the bus driver's attention before he took off and left me behind. But eventually, the bus disappeared into the distance. Okay, so unfortunately, our main character did in fact miss their bus. Eventually, right, after some time, after a while, after a little bit, they're running, they're chasing, they're waving their arms, trying to get his attention, but after a while, after some time, eventually the bus disappears into the distance, right? It vanishes, it slips out of view, it goes away. Level 7, here we go. I was running at full speed down the street and waving my arms like mad, trying to get the bus driver's attention before he took off and left me behind. But eventually, the bus disappeared into the distance, and I knew I would have to find a different way to work. Okay, our main character, they are coming to terms with their situation here. They are starting to face the facts. Right? They're starting to face reality. And the reality of the situation is, the fact of the matter is, the bus is gone. There is no hope of making it onto the bus, so they are going to have to find a different way to work. Yeah, they're gonna have to come up with something else. They're gonna have to think of something new. Maybe they'll need to get creative here. Level 8, a little bit faster now, guys. Push yourselves, really work that speaking muscle. Ready? I was running at full speed down the street and waving my arms like mad, trying to get the bus driver's attention before he took off and left me behind. But eventually, the bus disappeared into the distance, and I knew I would have to find a different way to work. With a sigh, I fired up the Uber app. Okay, so our main character does this with a sigh. With an exasperated sigh, maybe we could say. Exasperated sigh. They're really tired. They're frustrated. They're not in a great mood, right? What do they do with a sigh? With an exasperated sigh, they fire up the Uber app. Okay, if you fire up an app, you fire up a service or a machine, right? That means you start it up. You open it up. You start using it. You get it going. We could say, I fired up the Uber app to book a ride. I fired up the delivery app and started looking for dinner. I fired up my computer and got to work. Level 9, if you guys are still with me, you're doing great. Let's keep pushing through. Ready? I was running at full speed down the street and waving my arms like mad, trying to get the bus driver's attention before he took off and left me behind. But eventually, the bus disappeared into the distance, and I knew I would have to find a different way to work. With a sigh, I fired up the Uber app and waited patiently for a driver to accept the ride. This is getting to be a real challenge, a real mouthful. Okay, so our main character, what do? They fire up the Uber app. Now they are waiting patiently for a driver to accept the ride, right? They have put out a request to be picked up by a driver, right? So now they just need to wait patiently for a driver to accept the ride. Wait calmly, wait without complaining, without moaning and groaning, right? Moaning and groaning. They need to wait while maintaining a good attitude. Keeping a good attitude, right? Okay, let's level up to level 10, the final level of this super sentence, and really challenge ourselves. Are you ready? Now, because level 10 is the final level, we are going to do 2 reads. first slow and then quick at a native speed. Let's start slow. Are you ready? I was running at full speed down the street and waving my arms like mad, trying to get the bus driver's attention before he took off and left me behind. But eventually, the bus disappeared into the distance, and I knew I would have to find a different way to work. With a sigh, I fired up the Uber app and waited patiently for a driver to accept the ride, while simultaneously texting my boss to let him know I'd be running a few minutes late. If you are new here on my channel and this is the longest sentence you've ever spoken in your entire life, I want you to comment new record. New record. You guys are doing great. As your YouTube English teacher, I'm super proud of you. Here's a really tricky word to pronounce: simultaneously. Practice saying that a couple of times out loud with me. Simultaneously. 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 What does it mean? It means two things are happening concurrently. Concurrently, or two things are happening at the same time. In our story here, our main character is waiting patiently, and at the same time, they are texting their boss to let their boss know that they're going to be running late. So two things are happening concurrently. Two things are taking place at the same time, happening simultaneously. All right, are you guys ready to say this one final time at a native speed? Let's do it. I was running at full speed down the street and waving my arms like mad, trying to get the bus driver's attention before he took off and left me behind. But eventually, the bus disappeared into the distance, and I knew I would have to find a different way to work. With a sigh, I fired up the Uber app and waited patiently for a driver to accept the ride, while simultaneously texting my boss to let him know I'd be running a few minutes late. Take your hand and give yourself a pat on the back. You're doing amazing, my friend, but don't leave yet. Let's do a cool down exercise together. For our speaking cool down exercise, I want to summarize what happened in today's super sentence story. Yeah, take today's story and paraphrase. Paraphrase, put it into your own words. I want you to push yourself to speak for a full minute. A full minute. Even if you are making mistakes, that's all right. Just keep pushing, push all the way through that minute. I will go first. You can practice your listening skills, and I'll give you a demonstration of what I would like you to try and do when it's your turn. In today's super sentence, we saw a pretty chaotic story, a pretty crazy story, a pretty hectic story. Our main character in the beginning was sprinting, running at full speed, at top speed, as fast as they could, trying to flag down a bus, trying to wave down a bus, but unfortunately, they ended up missing the bus. Yeah, they were not able to make the bus, and so they had to turn to plan B. Yeah, they had to turn to a different plan and think of something else. So what did they do? They got out their phone and they fired up the Uber app. They booked a ride on Uber while simultaneously, at the same time, letting their boss know that they would be late. That was my 1 minute summary of today's story. Now it's your turn. Pause the video and really push yourself to speak for 1 full minute. I know you can do it. I'd like to give a huge shout out to my channel members. You guys really make my work possible. Guys, become a member today to get all of these benefits. It's only $5 and it really supports me so very much. I could not do what I do without my channel members. And if you're in the middle of a study session, I'm going to take another video and throw it up on the screen. Don't stop now. Keep going, keep learning. I'll meet you there.